Good evening, everyone. So let's start class. Yeah. So I'm sharing my screen. Yeah, can you see my screen? Please respond.
Yes.
Yeah, Ravi, we are able to see.
Yeah.
So here we are going to start our first class. So basically, a Dell boomi. So it's an integration tool. Okay, it's an integration tool which can be used to connect any two applications. Which can be used to connect any two application. Okay. So here, so why we use this Dell boomi? So before the Dell boomi, what are the technologies which are existing already? Okay. So as of now, Dell boomi is a widely used integration tool in the world. And before this Dell boomi, we have like tools, Informatica, MuleSoft, SnapLogic. So these all are the comes in the integration tool. So apart from that, Dell boomi has the wide range of connectors are available in this Dell boomi. Okay. So here, with the help of this connector, without writing any code, without involving any logic, we can directly connect any two applications. Let's say applications maybe database to Salesforce or Salesforce to database. We can connect SAP and we can connect any application that is existed. Like we can connect application connectors, like we can have the technology connectors. Okay, so the Dell boomi supports the wide range of connectors to fulfill our integration applications. Okay, to fulfill our integration requirements. Okay, so what is the prerequisites in order to learn the Dell boomi? Okay, so as we know, there is no or much need of any coding in order to learn Dell boomi. Okay, the best basic thing we need to have the like know about the basic SQL. Okay, so if you have any like application, if you want to connect to the database, just at least we should know about the basic SQL like select queries, insert queries, update queries, and calling these stored procedures. Okay, and basic of JavaScript or script. Okay, basic of Java or Groovy scripts. So just like if existing functionality will not used for to fulfill our requirement, then we'll go for custom scripting in Delbo. Okay. So in this Delbo, me will use the basic of JavaScript or Groovy script. Okay, Groovy script is similar to Java only. Okay. So where we can use this JavaScript or Groovy script. Suppose I have a requirement like first name and last name. Okay, so my requirement is to concatenate this both first name and last name. Then I can go for the JavaScript or Groovy script. Okay, so the basic we can will use the basic functionality of JavaScript and Groovy script. So if you are not well with the JavaScript or Groovy script, we can also have some clauses based on this. We can get to know what is exactly JavaScript and where we can use in Boomi Java or Groovy script. Okay. So these are the basic prerequisites to learn the Dell boomi, the basic SQL and the basic Groovy script or JavaScript. Okay. So what exactly Dell boomi is? Okay. Suppose let's say I have the application like let's say it's a Salesforce. Okay. So one more application I have data is like a database. Okay. So now I want to integrate these two applications, or else you can say vice versa from database to Salesforce or Salesforce to database. So I have some records in Salesforce. So I want to migrate those records into database. So in this scenario, the term called Dell Boomi exists. Okay. So here we are using the Boomi to integrate my Salesforce application with database. Suppose if we can consider Salesforce, like Salesforce having the objects, if you know, like account object, lead objects, contact objects. Let's say I want to migrate my account object data to the database. Okay, let's say the Salesforce having the object called account. So now I want to move this account data to my database. Say, let's say table called, let's say account table. Okay, let's say account table. So now I want to migrate my data from account object to the account table, which is in database. The database might be MySQL or Oracle or SQL Server, whatever. Based on the requirement, we can select the database. Okay. So now, in order to connect the Salesforce to the database, if you go with the coding, we need to write lots of lines of code. In order to migrate data from Salesforce to database, we need to write API code. We need to expose the APIs, whether it is post and get method, right? So in order to avoid that much of coding with Python or Java, so in Boomi, what we are doing is just the Boomi has a good mechanism. We can call it as like a drag and drop. So if you want to use the Salesforce connector, just drag the Salesforce connector into your process canvas and configure your Salesforce account and make required configurations and take the data. And if you want to connect to the database, just drag the database connector into your process canvas. Just configure the database connector, like the port number, the database, the username and password. And in between, we have to use these some map shapes. Okay, just we can connect these to database. Okay, so how simple is it is like, just we can drag the connectors which we want to map, or which we want to send the data from the Salesforce to database or database to Salesforce. Just it has the mechanism called drag and drop. So I'll show you that how it will be work. Like suppose this is a Boomi page. Okay, so this is a Boomi login page. So after you're logging into your account, you can see like home button and services, resources and settings, and maybe it's a company name. Like I have taken the example as ABC is a company name. Okay. So basically, before going to this Boomi UI, so basically the Boomi offers, so the following services, like it offers integration services. Okay, and it offers like API management, and it offers Boomi flow service. Okay, and it offers MDH. Okay, data hub. Okay, data hub. Okay, so basically we are using the integration as part of now. So after that, we'll go with API management and Boomi Flow and MDH. So these are the four services which is offering by the Boomi. Okay, so integration is nothing but we can integrate or we can connect any two applications. Okay, and API management or API design, we can say that API management, or we can say API design. So as we know, we can create the APIs from the Boomi. So we have the connectors. Based on that connectors, we can expose the our API to the third-party services. So Boomi also used for to create the APIs, as well as the Boomi will also consume the APIs from the third parties. So the Boomi will have the functionality. We can consume the APIs from the third party. Also, we can expose the our APIs to the third party. Okay, and coming to the Boomi flow, just like it is similar to like HTML. So we can create the applications based on this Boomi flow, but it is not much can develop the application like React.js or Node.js. So we can develop some simple application with the help of Boomi flow. And MDH, it's like a data hub, so we can use this it as in a database. So but our major focus is in integrations. Okay, our major focus is on integrations. Okay, let's go with this Boomi page. So in order to write any boomi process or in order to create any interfaces with the boomi, so we don't require any software, or we don't require any software. So first of all, you have to log in, or you have to sign up with this trial account, so which is valid for 30 days. So this is a URL for boomi platform service. Okay, so from this you have to sign up for free trial. So it will ask some basic details like your username, sorry, your email ID, and your first name, last name, and company name, and phone number, the country. And you can, after submitting this, you will get an email. From that email, you will have to reset your password. So after that, just you can log in with this your username and password with the help of this URL platform.boomi.com. Okay, we don't require any software to learn Dell Boom. Okay, so we just need to have the internet connection and the browser, whatever the browser you want to like. Okay, just go with this platform.boomi.com. So after that, you have to provide your username as email address and your password, whatever the password you have set while your registration. So after that, just click on this sign in. So this is the Boomi interface. Okay. So as I said, right? So Boomi offering integration, master data hub, MDH, API management, and Boomi flow. And this is data catalog and preparation. This is separate one. Okay. So basically, we are using the this integration service. Okay. So you can also having different tabs like home button services, which will show the all the services which is offering by the Boomi, and resources like it is documentation, any support, and this Boomi community and training. And here setting your like user information, and here your company information. Okay, so now we'll go with the integration service. Okay, so here, after entering into their integration services, so this is the user interface of an Boomi. So again, we have like a dashboard. Here we have account dashboard, HTTP status dashboard, real-time dashboard, and build page. If you click on this build page, this is the build page, and here we have the tab called deploy. Here we have deployments and integration packs, and here the manage tab, reporting, data management, Boomi Assure. So these all are the options available in Boomi integration services. Okay. So as I said, we don't need any software or any tool that need to be installed in your computer, but we need an atom. Okay. So we need an atom. So atom is nothing but it's a runtime environment. It's a runtime environment. So after creating your process, right? So after creating your Boomi process, so if you want to like test your Boomi process, or if you want to deploy your Boomi process on your environment, we require the atom. We require the atom. So atom is nothing but it's a runtime environment. So which is based on Java. The atom is being deployed based on Java. So, so if you want to run your application on your on premises, like locally, so if you want to run your application locally, you have to install local atom. You have to install the local atom. At that time, we need to install only this atom in your laptop. If you want to practice your Boomi process, or if you want to integrate your on-premises applications, so we can say with the help of Boomi, we can integrate on-premises applications, okay, and also cloud applications. So we can integrate on-premises applications and cloud applications. So if you want to integrate your on-premises applications, then you have to install your Atom on the your system or your laptop. Okay. So I don't want to install any Atom in my laptop. So I want to integrate any cloud applications, or I want to practice my Boomi process on the cloud itself. So just you can create your cloud Atom in the training account, so that you can directly practice your Boomi process on your cloud Atom. So, but most of the applications which are on premises, then we need to install the Atom in our system. If you want to make use of how Atom is being installed in our system and what are the properties which are need to be configured after installing the Atom, that we can know easily. So if we are using the cloud Atom, then we don't need to configure anything. We don't need to configure anything on the cloud atoms because the cloud atoms are managed by the boomi itself, the boomi company itself managing the cloud atoms. So they will configure the things what are they required for this. Whereas if you are using the local atom, we need to configure each and everything. Like what are the atom properties that we need to configure, and what is the RAM size that we need to configure, and what are the directory which is need to be copy the files from the local atom to the on-premise application, on-premise to the local applications. Okay, so this is the, as you know that this is an Boomi user interface. So in which you are going to create your Boomi process. So I'll explain the UI. So this is the we can say the folder components. Okay. Suppose here how this folder structure will be useful. Suppose I have 4 to 5 clients. So based on that, you have to create your folders. So suppose how can we create a folder? So this ABC is my company name. So this is my main folder. Okay. So if you click on this button, you will get the options. You can create the new folder and you can rename it and the permissions and the new component. So now I want to create a new folder. Okay. So just I'm creating the folder called like training. So already I have created the folder. Okay. Training. So here you can create your new folders based on your requirement. Because if you are working on a particular company, the company may have multiple clients. So if you go to the actual Boomi UI, you will have the multiple folder keys because the company may have multiple clients. Based on the client, they will create the folders. So based on that, they can create the Boomi process. Okay. So before going to the how to create a Boomi process, so we'll learn. So Boomi, with the help of Boomi, we can create processes. Okay, we can create process. Okay, the process also called as interface. It's also called as interface. So process is nothing but it's a collection of different components. It's a collection of different components. Okay, so let's see what are the components that we can use in our Boomi. Okay, so let's say, so now I want to create a Boomi process. So already I've created the account called folder called training. So in which now I want to create a process. So just click on here, new component, select the new component. So here, so which component you are using, you want to create process. It will give the suggestions like process, connection, API service, trading partner, proxy. These all are the connectors. Now my first task is I want to create the process. So just I'm creating the process. Okay. So for now, just make it as no data. I will explain what is what exactly. Okay. So just rename your process as first process. Okay. Just click on save. So I'll explain what is this. Okay. This we can call it as process canvas. This we can call it as process canvas. So in which you are going to create your Boomi processes in which you're going to add your components based on your requirements. Based on your requirements. Okay. So here, if you click on this search button, you will have the connectors. Okay. So like we have the connectors and execute and logic. So under the connector, you will have the connectors which can be used in our process canvas. So if I expand this, so we have different connectors. So if you can see, we can connect the Amazon Amplify, and these are the all Amazon available connectors. And if you scroll down, yeah, Amazon Redshift, Amazon S3 bucket, we can connect it, SNS, SKS, and AS2 client, Autotask, Lambda, Boomi, Atom Q. So SAP Boomi Access for SAP, Boomi Flow Client, Box. So these all are the application connectors available in Boomi. So based on your requirement, suppose my requirement is to connect to Salesforce to database. Just I will search for Salesforce. So readily available. It's a just drag and drop. So just you can select the Salesforce connector and drag into your process canvas and configure the required things. I will explain what is action, what is connection, what is operation, what is the parameters, what is general. I'll explain one by one. Okay. So the only mechanism is just we can drag the shape to the process canvas and configure the required things and save it and execute your process. Okay. And if you want to connect with your database, just search with database. Just drag it and drop in your process canvas and make the required configurations and configure it and save it and connect it. And if you want to connect FTP server, okay, just type FTP, drag it and drop it, make the required configurations and use it. So this is the this much of easy way we can integrate our application with the help of Boom. With the help of Boomi, we can easily integrate any applications. So if the connector is not available in the Boomi list, then we can also write custom scripting for the custom connectors. If any so for some way I want to use the connector which is not available in Boomi, we can also write custom code and we can take the custom code into our process canvas and you can use the custom connector as well. So almost all the connectors are available in Boomi. If any connector is missing, then also we can also write the custom scripting as you said, right? With the help of JavaScript or Groovy script, we can write the code and we can import those connection into our process canvas. Okay, so this is how we are going to drag the connectors and drop into our process canvas, how we are using. Okay, so now I just want to remove these connections. So I'll explain the shapes which are available. Okay. So not only connectors, with the help of connectors, just we can import the connectors into our process canvas. But our motto is, suppose here Salesforce. So how Salesforce documents will be? It's in the form of XML. Okay. So always the Salesforce documents, whatever the objects which are in Salesforce, which is giving the data in the format of XML. But database will accept the, like we can call it as database format, right? So in order to converting from XML to database format in Boomi, we are using a shape called map shape. We are using a shape called map shape. Okay. So the map shape, so Boomi having the different shapes to write our business logic. I'll show you the what are the shapes like map shape, set property shape, message shape, notify, program command, process call. These all are the shapes which can be used to write our business logic. To write our business logic. So in the connector, we are having the source and destination shapes. If I want to use same Salesforce to database, so you can find the connectors in this connect under the connect. So you can select your connector based on your requirement and drag and drop it. But in between source and destination, in between source and let's say it is a source, let's say it's a source, and let's say it's a target, or we can say destination. Okay. So source and destination we can just drag and drop into our process control, but in between we have we have to do business logic. Okay, so business logic is nothing but transforming the data from one format to another format, and do some scripting and write like use shapes based on our requirement. In between we have to do the business logic. Those business logic can be done by these execute and logic shapes. These execute and logic shapes. So these each and every shape I will explain, and I will explain what is the use of each and every shape. Okay, so now coming to the map shape. So the map shape is used for to transform the data from one form to another form. Okay, one form to another form. So as we know that Salesforce is giving the data in the format of XML. Salesforce is giving the data in the format of XML, and database won't support this XML format. Okay, from boomi. So in order to convert this XML to database, then we'll go for the map shape. Then we'll go for the map shape. So the major use of this map shape is to transform the data from the one form to the another form, or we can say that to convert the data from the destination or target accepted format. Okay, so here uh, before going to this map shape, so okay, let's go with this map shape. So if you want to suppose my, let's say I'm using this Salesforce connectors. So this is my Salesforce connector. So I'm just visualizing the basic, but I'm not writing any logic over here. So after that, my Salesforce is giving the data in the format of XML. Now I want to convert into database accepted format. Just drag the map and configure it and just save it. Just connect it to the map. After that, again, my target is database, right? So just search for database, just save it. So I'm just making the visual flow. So I'm not doing the actual logic. Okay. So after that, as we know, each and every process having the stop and start shape. Okay. Okay. So this is a basic overview of a process. So each and every process has start shape and stop shape. Start and stop shape. So in between we are writing the business logic. In between we are writing the business logic. So here my source is Salesforce, my target is database. In between to configure the map shape, to convert the data from XML to database accepted format. Okay, this is a sample process. Okay, so this we can consider one component, second component, like we are considering these all shapes as a components. Okay, so as you are seeing, right? So if you want to connect to the next step, just drag to the next step, automatically it will connect to the component which is in process canvas. Okay, so just like drag this shape and attach to the next shape. That means the data is flowing from here to here and here to here, and finally end shape. So the documents will flow from the what actual process showing. Okay, so this is about how we can create the process. Okay, this is don't think this is not an actual process. I'd say like example process. We need to configure each and everything while we are doing these connections. Okay, so I'll explain one by one these. uh, okay, so I'll create one process and I'll show you how to test your process and how to see your results. Okay, so I'm just deleting these three. Okay, I'm just deleting this. So we have shape called message shape. Okay, we have shape called message shape. So message shape is used to hold some data from the previous shape, to hold some data from the previous shape, and it will transfer the data from the previous shape to the next shape. Okay, so I'll just writing hi. I'm just writing some static data. I'm just writing like del boom. So I'm just saying this. So as we know, each and every process has start and stop shape. Already we have the stop shape. Just make this. So this is my simple process. The message will be transferred to the next step, next shape. So just save this process. In order to test your process, in order to test your process, we need atom. As I discussed earlier, so in order to test your process, in order to deploy your process, we need an environment. In that environment, we need to have the atom. So atom is nothing but a say runtime engine. We can say runtime environment. So even though if you are writing a Java program, you have to run your Java program based on the JDK or JRE, right? Similar to that, after creating your boomi process, you have to run or you have to test your boomi process in test mode, or if you want to deploy your boomi process on Q environment or production environment or UAT environment, we require the atom, because uh, any process that you have created in boomi, it will be run and the atom itself. Okay, so I'll discuss the what is environment and what is atom, how to install the atom, and further upcoming classes. Okay, so I'll show you the what exactly how we can test the process. Just save this process, and here right side you will have the button called test. I'll have the button called test. Just click on the test. Here you have to select your atom. So in your like a real-time account, you will have the multiple atoms based on the clients. Okay, so just select the atom. So I'm selecting the test atom, and you can just click on the run test. Yes, you can click on the run test. So it is running. So it is running. Yeah. So if your process completed successfully, you will get the notification like text execution process successfully completed. So remember one thing: if my process doesn't have any errors, so automatically it will turn into green color. All the shapes turn into green color. If my process having some errors, if my process having some errors, automatically the process will turn into red color. I'll show you that how to debug the process and where we can find the errors, like how to resolve those errors while in execution. Okay, so now my process is successfully completed, right? So now I want to see the data. I want to see the my data. So if you scroll the if you lift up this window, so you can find the logs over here. So this is my first shape. uh, I did not configure anything, that's why we don't have any logs. If you click on this right message shape, so we have configured something, right? We have configured, we just keep the message, right? So it will show the some message what you are doing. Okay, and next if you click on this next step, so as I said, the message shape will be used to transfer the data from to the next shape, to transfer the data from the next shape. So if you click on this shape source data, if you click on this shape source data, so click on this is the document. I'm passing through this message shape to the my next shape. This is my stop shape. I'm passing this data to the next shape. Just click on this document. So it will loading the data from the atom. See, so Dell boomi. So whatever the data I have written over there, it is transferring to the next shape. So this data is being transferred to the next step. So it is a static data. So let me configure to the dynamic data. Let me configure to the dynamic data. So in order to configure the data dynamically to the message shape, you will have the variables. You will have the variables. Just click on the plus symbol. So I just want to print today's date time. Okay. Current date. It is will have the multiple formats like mmddyy. So I want to print this format or this format. Okay. So this is my dynamic data, and here you declare the variable as 1. So in order to get the data into our message shape, you have to make it as 1. So because I have defined the variable 1, so I am using that one variable in my message shape. Suppose if you are using the one more variable, suppose I'm using the static data as welcome. Okay, this is my static data. So again, I have to use the 2. Okay, so if I use the line by line, the output also come in by one. If I use the side of the 1, you will get the output. After date, you will get the welcome. Let's try how it will get. Okay, just save it. Click on the test. Already atom is selected. So click on the run test. It's running. Yeah, the test execution process was completed successfully. So I'm just clicking on this message shape as you said, right? So it is a parameter for first position. It is in the format of YYYMMDD. So we are getting the parameter for values 2023, 130 and today's date. And the second value I configured as welcome. Let's see whether this data is passed to the next shape or not. Just click on this send and continue. Click on this shape source data and just open this document. See, my data is passed to the next shape. This is today's date and this is static data. Okay, so basically the use of message shape is to transfer the data from the current shape to the next shape. We can also define the static data. We can also define the dynamic data based on our requirement. Based on our requirement. This is about how a simple process can work and how to create a simple process and how to test this process in our environment. Okay, how to test it. I'll show you if my process having any errors, how it will looks like. So I'll configure some decision shape. I'll explain what is decision shape exactly after 2 hours. So I'm just configuring some dynamic process property. Let's say ABC equal to one static value. So if it is equal to 1, it should go to true path. I'm just copying one more stop shape and pasting over here. Just click keyboard, save your process and test it. Here the process, okay. On dynamic process, it's not existed, right? Okay, I'll show you the profile element. Maybe. Mhm. So I'm creating one profile here. Still. Okay. So because we are getting null, so it's going to the false place. So if you have any errors, automatically it will turn into red color. So if you get into this shape which you have got error, just click on that shape and you can view the logs where you are getting actual errors. So based on that, you can resolve your errors. Okay. Let me check. We have the test process. Yeah. So this is a process. I can see. So this is an error. User home desktop read file does not exist. So I'm trying to access the this directory. Okay, I'm trying to access this directory, but it's showing the directories does not exist. So if you having any errors in your process, automatically it will show the errors, and you can click on this shape and you will get the logs over here. Okay, this way we can solve your errors. Yeah, any doubts in today's class?